What's going on, gang? Welcome. I'm going to be going on a bike ride and I want to talk to you about the real estate market, cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, gold and silver, and the economic collapse that we're having. So, thanks for joining in. And if you're needing help in real estate, in entrepreneurship, how to buy houses subject to owner financing, wholesaling, cold calling, closing over the phone, automation, outsourcing, then please go to mrnofluff.com. Again, myrealestatedojo.com. It doesn't matter, they're both the same. And get my best selling courses on all these topics that I just mentioned at a big discount at 97.64% off. So go check it out at mrnofluff.com. So let's get started, guys. Let's get rolling. All right, guys, had to just put everything up, throw the kickstand down, almost crash, but we're ready to roll. Nice. All right. What a gorgeous day to live in America and to be alive and not be in a hospital bed. If you agree to that statement, leave a comment below, uh, and we'll hit these topics we talked about. But before that, I'd like to let you guys know all these topics, gold, cryptos, all this stuff is fake. What really matters is that you're alive and you're doing what you want to do in life and being your dreams, working on your dreams, chasing your dreams versus the man's dreams. That man can be a big corporate America, it can be, small business, whatever it is. If you want to ride bikes, or if you want to, climb mountains, if you want to write books, whatever the story is, America's a great place to start, to be. I mean, it gives you like so much advantages above any other country. I mean, the stories of rags to riches is still very true that you can bootstrap yourself to success in America. And let me say that again. I've done it back in 19 early 99s, 98s when, I was a youngster in high school, after college, till 42 what I am now. Every business I started, the ones that basically succeeded are the ones that I bootstrapped. Now I've made some mistakes, when I made a lot of money and I try to start businesses with just money. No debt, I don't believe in debt or the bankers. And I lost money in those businesses. Heidi. And so if you guys could click the like button, I highly appreciate it. So, I mean, the land of opportunity here is in America, but many of us, don't see it. Let me give you an example. I was at my favorite store, REI, the other day. Now, that's not sponsored. I just like to shop there. And I was waiting for my bike to get repaired, and I was talking to one of the sales reps at REI. We start talking about the shirts that I like, and then we start talking. He told me that he had two jobs, and so I kind of asked him a couple of questions, and I learned that he liked photography, and I give him some ideas for him to get business for that, and he liked that idea. And he said, "Yeah, that's a great idea." And then I give him another idea, which was to buy these equipments like photography lenses and cameras at a deep discount for motivated sellers and turn around and sell it below retail to, retail buyers are super happy to get something at 10-20% off. And he said, "Man, that's unethical." I said, "Why is that unethical, my friend?" He said that because I know the value of that thing and I'm offering them less. And I thought about it and I thought, look, this is coming from someone that has two jobs. See, he's not thinking it's unethical that the banks are printing so much money, which is causing inflation for him to have two jobs. He's not thinking it's unethical that the banks create 30-year amortizations, which means the very first 10, 15 years of payments, majority of goes towards interest versus principal reduction. So the banks have set it up that majority of the money they get up front versus paying off the debt or the principal. And so he didn't realize all the other stuff wasn't unfair. And I told him this is very ethical because you're rendering a service. The service is, you know, you can come pick up quickly and you offer them cash instantly, and you help them non-liquidate. Not everyone's going to be motivated, but the ones that are, is going to be a great opportunity for you. So anyways, he didn't like the second idea, but he liked the first idea that I had given him to how to get more business as a guy that has a business photography, but he has 2 jobs because he's listening to his, you know, safety mechanism programming that he's been brought up. Most of us have to get a job and work for the man. Because if the job didn't work, the first job didn't work, why would the second job work? And I try to tell him, you got 1 job, maybe you should, you know, invest into that photography business you're talking about and do that as a part-time, you know, or on your 3rd thing. Don't give up on your dreams. But the point of the story was that the guy that had 2 jobs and didn't have any freedom thought it was unethical to provide a service, to buy things from motivated sellers, like what a pawn shop is, what a cash buyer does in real estate. A lot of different industries, like, you know, they're willing to buy your stuff at a deep discount, but they're providing you fast sell. See, he didn't understand that, and he thought that was unethical. And that idea that I just gifted him for free, he didn't pay for it, could netted him 20, 30, 50K if you just did it for 1 year, right? If not more. Part-time, because he already had 2 jobs and he could just done that on the side. It only took just a couple of hours. And I thought to myself, sorry guys, I think I broke up. Anyway, so this guy had 2 jobs, great guy, amazing guy, had a lot of stuff similar with him, but the difference was the mindset, because he was already programmed, that he thought that buying something low from motivated sellers and selling it below market so you can move it real quick was unethical. But he would have better have 2 jobs, but he didn't think that bankers were unethical. He didn't think getting a mortgage was unethical. 22% credit card wasn't unethical. But making a fair, honest living was unethical. And, you know, and I realized, you know, like, there's no helping this dude, because his reality is that he has to have a job, and getting to debt is the way for him. And even I'm showing him a way to escape that reality, because he already knows in his heart of heart that he wanted to take pictures, and he had invested in these equipment, but that was his 3rd gig, and it wasn't going good. And I gave him like a couple of good ideas to get him a lot of business real quick, but it seemed like he needed some extra capital. And I said, well, do this to it, buy these equipment, and only for motivated sellers. This is how you do it. I got into it, and he didn't like that idea. And that's when I realized that, hey, some people you're not going to be able to change, because they think that slavery is much better. Having 2 or 3 jobs is much better than, you know, risking their whatever, $100, $150 to buy a camera or whatever, and then sell it for 400 or 500 was a bad idea, because, you know, they're buying it below market. And I you know, so I just wanted to share that with you guys. I'm not judging the guy. He was a great guy. But, you know, as a young man, I feel bad for that, because I'm like the total opposite. Since high school, I never had a job or a resume. I couldn't work with people. My very first job, sorry guys, I think the internet is cut off. My very first job, guys, was I worked at a car wash when I was like in junior high. And they, you know, minimum wage was like so low at that time. I can't remember, like a couple of bucks. And after, you know, a week of hard work, I think I got a paycheck. It was like maybe $100. And I thought to myself, dude, this is so hot. This is so hard. I was working outside, washing cars and vacuuming for this big company. And I thought to myself, man, this is ridiculous. When I grow up, I don't want to have a job. And then, you know, I went with my dad a couple of times to work, and he used to sell ice cream in the shittiest part of town to pay the bills, because he was just an immigrant and he didn't speak the language. And I thought to myself, dude, that shit sucks too. But, you know, you got to do it. I realized that it's, Because working for the man, you would get so little, and at least selling ice cream, you would get like at least 4 times more than that. And I thought to myself, well, I'll do something better. Uh, and I did, but I didn't realize that, all the consumption of, accumulation of success was going to be a fake joy or happiness. This is what's programmed to us in our society. And I thought that was the paradise, that was heaven in a sense. So I got there. And then I thought I was just needing more locations, more storage. I did that. And I was like, no, there's something missing out of this. And I realized that, I had a cancer of consumptions. Not even though I was like a consumer like most people here, like so much less, 90% less. But still, it's just the consumption of always being the guy on top of the hill or competing with the next guy to have more or whatever. So here I am helping this guy at REI totally for free because, I'm tapping into that thing and just trying to help this guy out so he doesn't have 2 jobs. And he tells me he wants to just be a slave because he didn't think it's ethical. But he didn't think to himself that, man, I have to have 2 jobs and it's not ethical, okay? Because they're printing so much money. He didn't think about that, hey, the Fed just printed 22% more, the total amount of US dollars in the whole creation of the US in just 1 year. He didn't think about any of that stuff. But making an honest living of, dealing with motivated sellers, which is a business from many, many centuries old, like the beginning of time, because that's what like wholesaling is in any industry, from phones to cars to, whatever, real estate. So right now I'm trying to find my kids and wife. They've been pedaling. I had to pull over and do this video for you guys. Beautiful day. Let me get some hot tea real quick. You guys know I love hot tea, even on the bike. Man, I found this really cool cups. I had these other cups that everyone knows about, but I bought this other company's cup. It's not paid advertisement or anything like that, but it's amazing. It keeps my cups hot, but also if I go like this, it doesn't fall out. And it's really good for bicycling or anything else. Oh, I see my kids right there. They're at the park. I gotta go over this way to get there. All right. I see you, sweetheart. I'll head over there. Yes, darling, I'm coming. The kid's calling me. Howdy. Hello, buddy. How are you? Kidding, look, be friendly. I think they gotta cut to the right here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Hey, buddy, how are you, love? How are you, pal, lovin'? Champ, you're up there. How's your little sister? Hello, Bobby. How are you? I'm coming. Alright guys, we're going to talk about real estate in a second. Play with my kid first. I'll be back in a second, guys. All right, guys. So, guys and ladies, looking forward to all the opportunities out here, which is like ridiculous. If you're willing to take risk. One more minute. All right. So there's so much opportunities here in all different industries when it comes to motivated sellers. For example, in the recent days, I've seen a lot of moving company movement, which means that people are just selling their homes and they're moving uh, more than I've seen in the past few months. That kind of explains why real estate prices have spiked up um, due to ultra low interest rates. I, Let me tell you a story. I was eating, we were bicycling, and I was eating at this restaurant, and this guy was talking to his friend across the table, and he said that he's a mortgage broker, and that 90%, 89% of his business is coming from first-time home buyers. And I was kind of like overheard them talking about this. And he said that majority of these people are just first-time home buyers, which makes a lot of sense because they haven't tried the rodeo, they don't know what it is to buy a house and the market to tank. They don't know what it is to um, have the banks say one appraisal and then it changes again, right? They haven't experienced that, and that makes a lot of sense. You know, first-time home buyers are buying homes, and because of low inventory and also low prices, ultra low interest rate, prices have spiked up, but that's just momentarily. Um, as you guys know, I've already made a predictions, maybe 2 months back, that in 6 to 18 months, we're going to see massive price cuts, and we can see that I am correct because we have to do the second stimulus. If stimulus is not done, then the stock market is going to crash. Um, and the stock market and the real estate market is going to crash already because you can see the precursors, what's happening in California, what's happening in uh, New York, where big cities are losing value if it's commercial, if it's residential. So I think everything's on track and it's just being manipulated through shortages of inventory because of the uh, scare factor of people not wanting to list their homes. Okay, I'm not gonna get into that, what I think about it, but that's basically what's happening in a nutshell, and ultra low interest rates like for 30-year mortgages. So it's fooling a lot of new hens, which are, first-time home buyers. Uh, but on the other flip side, there's so much opportunity because there's this wall of tsunami. There's a wall of foreclosures that are just waiting to happen as soon as the banks get the green light from FHA and VA that they can start foreclosing on these government-backed loans. Simply put, they're backed by us, basically. Loans. So that's what I think is happening in real estate. And in the commercial sector, they're just building everywhere because of ultra low interest rates. So people close to the money can get access and they're building for free. But the problem is there's massive inventories, massive businesses are closing down, and only Apple can get so much space, office space. Google can only get so much office space. The small guys, or which employs majority of Americans, and the small businesses are closing down, and left and right. I don't need a TV show to tell me that because I go to businesses that I've used for quite a while, and they're closed down. Personal businesses that I've gone to, that I shop at, they've closed down. All right, let's get out of here. Hey, hey, let's get out of here. These guys look like they're doing a deal or something. Come on, sweetie. Let's get out of here. Let's go. Thank you. We're leaving. Not right now, baby.
Alchemy, get inside right now. Okay, we're leaving right now. You're gonna stay right here.
All right, let's get out of here. All right, guys, we're at the park, and there's apparently some people doing something that they shouldn't be. And I take my kids out of here. Let's go. All right, so you guys heard my opinions on the real estate market, why prices are going up. But end of the day, the game plan is still the same. The prices will going to come down. There's no stopping it. Commercial sector is already set to be doomed. Sweetheart, I think it's this way, no? Okay. I'll follow you. I mean, commercial sector is set to be doomed. Not forever. Let's go, sweetie. A lot of people ask me, Mike, is it a good time to buy real estate for my own personal home? Guys, I don't give financial advice or anything like that. But personally, for myself, I think that prices are going to come down hard. So I'm just waiting for my moment. Meanwhile, I'm having fun. Patience is the key, dude. A lot of people don't have patience. They want to be investing, and they want it to be fast and quick. Fast and quick. That's funny. Dude, it's freaking stinky out here. It smells like the sewer. I guess they're changing the pipes. I mean, let's talk about some Bitcoin, guys. What I'm seeing is massive, big corporations are buying Bitcoin. For example, they came out and Twitter buying 50 billion, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember if it was million or billion. I can't remember. I think it's a million. Microsoft, or not Microsoft, Microtech, or some other company is buying $500 million in Bitcoin. They've already bought it. So it seems like a lot of the big corporations are starting to realize that if we print out 22% of the money of America in 1 year, where we're going to have, value of our money evaporating, and some of the smarter ones have already came out and disclosed. And the reason they had to disclose is because according to the SEC rules. But there's a lot of other people that are not disclosing, and they're just doing it too. You got to think about that. However, I'm a bull on Bitcoin, midterm and long term. But I think in the short term, it just depends on how they rig the market. If they rig the market and the stock market goes up, then Bitcoin will probably have that parabolic movement happening. But if the market crashes, then unfortunately I think that Bitcoin is going to crash too. I don't want it to. It shouldn't crash theoretically, because it's supposed to be a separate, independent, isolated investment versus no correlation with anything else. But apparently, sometimes theories don't work out. So if the markets go up, then Bitcoins will go up. If they pass out that stimulus check, I think that stock markets will go up, Bitcoin will go up. But if the markets crash, then I think Bitcoin on the short term will crash as well, plus all the altcoins. Okay. One thing that just happened, which everyone should be aware about, is that in cryptocurrencies, if you don't have your keys, you don't own the crypto, because when you have the keys and some company owns it, like for example, there's an exchange in China that just stopped withdrawals on all their crypto assets, which means like if you have money on that platform, you can't take your money out anymore because the guy that has the key to authorize withdrawals is missing or something, or they can't find him, or whatever the story may be. Same thing can happen to Coinbase or any of these other guys, because that's the whole idea with centralized versus decentralized. Centralized is what we've been having forever. That's why, for example, a bank can seize your banking account because it's centralized. That's why I'm not a believer of stable coins, because they're centralized companies. Like it's blanked out the name of it. Tether. Because they could just hold your account up at any time. They're centralized. But what makes Bitcoin powerful is decentralized. And what people don't realize is that if you have your coins in a exchange, you don't own those coins. They're just there. The company owns it because it's centralized. But if you owned your own keys, right, in your own hard wallet or something, or paper wallet or whatever, then no one controls it. No one can freeze it. No one can take it away from you. And the whole power of Bitcoin and decentralized means that there's no middleman to edit, censor, freeze, hold, stop, take away, subtract, any of that stuff from you. You're the only authorized user. Literally, you don't. And you can even lock yourself out of that authorization if you don't protect your private keys. So it gives you a lot of power, but with any power comes the other side of the coin, which is, hey, if you don't protect yourself, you can lose your money. But I'd rather have that power of freedom versus having a bank. Let me tell you a story. I used to back in probably like 2004 or something like that, we were looking for a big office, like a 3,000 square foot office for my moving company. And this is around, like, I already owned it for 7 years. We're making a lot of money. And I was shopping for an office building. And we went to this big old office building. And it looked really nice. And the room I was looking at, my neighbor next to me, the realtor said, hey, they had to stop their business in the middle of nowhere because the bank seized their money because they had a product, I can't remember the name of it, nor do I want to say it, that advertised that if you use it and you put it into your tank, you'll get 10% fuel economy. At that time, fuels was very expensive, and so the bank seized their accounts because of government order, and now these people and all the employees and vendors and everything was like locked out of their accounts. So these guys had just closed the door to the business, the landlord, because they didn't get their rent. The guy couldn't pay. All the money was in the business account. And I learned a very important lesson. That it's not your money. It's not your money. if you're in one of these centralized, systems. And that's why I'm a big fan of Bitcoin. But the illusion, that sounded cool, is that people, like, I have money on the exchange myself, so I'm guilty of it too, right? But I don't have all my money in there. I have maybe like 3%. I buy it, and that 3%, it's a decent chunk of money, and I don't want to lose that. I mean, I would cry if I lost it, right? But it wouldn't put me homeless. uh, on the other hand, I don't want to lose it, and I should, keep of it. But I know going into it that it's a risk, right? It's a risk. Soraya, you want to get in the front? And this is exactly what happened with an exchange in China, it's OKX, I can't remember the name of it exactly, that they suspended all their withdrawals of your assets. So it's kind of like you have the money in your banking account, you try to go take it out, and they say, no, we can't give it to you right now, but your money is safe, we'll give it to you later, right? The person that's supposed to release, assign, authorize it is not here, we can't track him down. That's pretty crazy. And things like that. That's why I'm a big believer of holding your own keys. I understand having money at the exchange. It's risky, but it's also, something that must be done if you want to trade or you want to buy more shit or whatever. But for me, majority of my stuff is, locked up off the internet, because that's the only way to do it. That's the whole power of this shit. So why would I do it a different way? I mean, the whole reason I'm into cryptos is to take control of my life energy. And yes, very volatile right now, but if I don't take control of it, doesn't make any sense. And the consequence for people that didn't take control of it is now they're locked up. Some people may have 100K, 200, half a million, who knows? And they didn't want to, for example, get a hardware wallet, or they didn't want to get put their money into some other, and they just kept it at the exchange, and for whatever reason, the exchange locked them out or froze their account or whatever. That's why I don't like centralized. That's what a bank does. That's what PayPal is. That's what all these banks, everyone thinks it's their money, but it's not your money once you put it in there. It's their money, and you're at their mercy of them to give you your own fucking money. If you don't believe me, just read what happened in, for example, Venezuela, where Bank of England just hijacked, all their gold, like $1 billion or something, guys. So banks are very, very shady. And like I was telling that guy from REI, hey dude, you don't think banks are shady, but buying something low and selling it below market to move it fast, you think that's shady. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to, guys, if you need any help with automation, you might want to go check out myrealestatedojo.com and check out my alchemy stones. I'm having it like 97% off right now. If you need help with outsourcing, where you're having people in third world that have masters, PhD to work for you full-time and run your business for whatever you need, and if you don't know what you need them to do, I have it in my course exactly what to do for them, from the lead generation to back end stuff, to like paperwork and getting evaluations and CMAs and property values and etc., to data extraction. I show you exactly how to do all that stuff in my course. It's a full day course. It gives you all the paperwork that I've used in my business, like my contracts, how much I pay them, what is the bonus structure, where do I find them, how do I qualify them, because one of the worst things is to hire a VA and then they quit on you and they take your information. So all that stuff I've been outsourcing since the early 99. So I put it all into a full day course. Plus I give you my manuals that I've used with my VAs, my contracts. It's a complete course. It's one of my best works I've done. You can right now get it for pennies on a dollar, guys, at My Real Estate Dojo. If you need help in cold calling, if you need help in owner financing, subject to deals, I have my courses there for cold calling, for owner financing for profits, and there are massive discounts on them, guys. Highly recommend go checking it out, especially in 2020 when we have so many motivated sellers in all aspects of life, guys. But on the other side, there's a lot of opportunity as well. Thanks for joining us on our ride. This is, like, I used to think when I was younger, I used to make so much more money than I do now, like, guys, but I used to think that making a lot of money was success. And, having a nice car, or having multiple cars, or having multiple businesses, or multiple locations, that was only success for so many different corporations, like phone companies and what I call fixed bills. But I think this is what success is, to do what you want to do. And man, I feel like I'm so successful because I was able to wake up that I don't need so many different things to have success. Successes for me at this current time, at being 42 or something, is to not work, get up every day, take my kids to the park, go bicycles. If I could convince the wife to go pedal, because I like to pedal every day, as the weather permits. And that's all we do, man. That's what I try to get her to do. And to me, that is success. Helping out my students. People reach out to me, said, "Hey, Mike, a guy reached out to me. He told me that he turned like 48,000, I can't remember top of my head, into 100K, almost $98,000, just by buying gold back in 2016, right? I'm not taking, his win, because I don't get financial advice, but I just told you guys what I did. And he did his due diligence and he decided to go ahead and invest in it. And a few years later, he had turned that 49,000 into like 100K, $98,000, just by doing that, right? Another guy reached out to me. He just did his very first subject to deal, right? Where he's getting massive cash flow, a big, large down payment. Another guy reached out to me, same exact thing with a subject to deal. So it feels good to be able to, be my dreams, I guess. I failed English. I failed, so many times I could barely almost pass college because I couldn't spell and write. Put it on Amazon, and I fed the homeless people, and I was able to become on the first page of Amazon on the book, dude, in a matter of days. It was unbelievable, right, for a guy that can't write. So I'm not saying this to brag. I'm saying that you can do whatever you want to do in life if you're just willing to get to it. And sometimes we think accumulation is the way, and maybe for you it is, and I hope you accumulate as much as you want, as much success as you want. That's why I do what I do for you guys, to have all that, so you can have more time to realize what is the meaning of life. Because it may not be being on the king of the hill. It may not be having five different office buildings, or having 50 different houses, or 3 different businesses, or making 10 million or a million, or whatever the story may be for you. It may not be those things. For me, is again, getting up and not working and not answering to someone and hanging out with my kids. It's the best thing ever. And I make so much less. I make 1% of what I used to make, like maybe less than that. But my overhead is very low. I don't have a lot of bills. My car is paid for. I'm about to actually sell my other car, just ride bikes. I don't have a phone. So it's like, I have my overhead very, very, very low. I don't need all that stuff because it's just like slavery. Makes bankers rich. But for you, you might be like where I was a few years ago, where you want a SL 500, you want a Ferrari, you want to have 3 businesses, you want to have 20 people working for you at one, you want to have 50 working for another. You want that, right? You want to work every freaking day, 7 days a week. And when I was doing it, I loved it. I thought it was the best shit ever. Right? I thought I was being my dreams. But every time I won, it felt pretty good for a little bit, but then it was like pretty empty, like I needed another mountain. And I try to analyze myself. Why is that? Why do I keep wanting more? Like shit. I was able to retire at 26. At 30, I had rentals. It's like I didn't have to work. Why did I want more? Then I had more locations and more businesses. It's like working more and always want to compete. So I started meditating. I realized that, hey, I have like a cancer. I've been programmed to just try to beat everyone up, try to be the first guy on the hill, and I like, and the way I started doing YouTube videos is because I wasn't happy, and I remember always when I helped out homeless people, it made me feel good, and I had all this knowledge. I said, you know what, man, one day I just got up because I was really shy. I hated public speaking, like scared to death. Right? Like seriously, guys, I flunked speech twice. Well, one time, second time, just barely got a C just to make it so I could graduate. So, but I just got up one day and I wasn't feeling that great, and I had wealth of education, and I knew that when I helped out homeless people, it made me feel good. And I said, let me just help out other people. And I started spilling my guts on YouTube, teaching people how to do shit. I didn't know how to edit. I didn't know anything about anything. I just knew that if I thought about it, I wouldn't do it. Right? I got up. I had this feeling that I should give my information out to people, my trade secrets that took so many years of hustle to get, sweat, late nights working, crying, losing money, thousands of dollars. So I said, you know what, I did the video, then I had to learn how to edit it. I didn't outsource it. I said, like, I'm gonna learn how to do this shit myself. And I did it. Then I started outsourcing it once I learned how to do it. And from there, I just kept doing videos. And people reach out to me, one success after another. And you know, you gotta think about it. Like, you go to my YouTube, Google reviews or Facebook reviews. You know, if you ever own the business, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, then you don't know what I'm talking about. You just think I'm crazy. But if you ever own a business, you know that for every one positive review you get, you may service 50 people, 20 people, 10 people to get one positive review. Because not everyone's a volunteer to give you reviews. Only bad reviews or people are volunteer, because we're motivated through negativity for many of us. Not me. I used to be like that. But when I go through that negativity, I try to shear it off into something positive. Like when the guy, what was this guy's name, that bought 3 of my products and then robbed me with credit card fraud. And I told him, hey, you owe us this much money. When you pay us, we're gonna feed the homeless, because I don't want your stinking money. To positivity, right? So once he ever pays us, that little fucking idiot, then we'll take that money, so I don't feel like that towards him, and we'll give it to homeless, and then I'll feel good, and he'll feel good, and we'll feel good. We filled, 300 homeless people, whatever, right? But if you know how hard it is to get reviews and positive reviews, if you've ever been a business owner, then when you go look at the reviews that we have, then you know that doing it out of love, right? People are happy we give them a lot of information. Now, the business that I am to help people become to their next level is one of the toughest businesses I've ever done in my life, because you're talking about changing people's psychological programming. Like when someone has been told all their life, for example, that a job is great, and now they're thinking maybe they should be an entrepreneur. Well, the first time they hear a no, or the first time they fall on their face, then their first reaction is to get back on that job idea, right? So to change that as a coach is extremely hard. And we're good. Change diapers. Fruit bag? All right. Let me bring some free stuff for this, guys. Yes, darling. 1 second, sweetheart. Fruits, guys. Dude, these things are delicious. Seriously, guys, these little oranges are delicious. You gotta eat healthy food, man. You know, you only got one body. The same companies that sell you the bad food own the pharmaceutical companies that give you the medicine. So it's good for them when people eat bad. They like it. They make a lot of money both directions, on the way down and then on the pills down. So like saying, you know, as a coach, it's hard to change people's minds. It's one of the hardest businesses I've ever done. It's like the most hardest because not only are you supposed to educate people on this new skill set that they need, but you also have to change their mindset because a lot of times they're not going to be able to see that part of how they have to evolve to become where they want to go. For example, for me, the path that I traveled is what Rich Dad said in his book, right? I went from having to eat. Like the first job I had was like in junior high, summer job. I worked at a car wash, hated it. Went to the ice cream truck with my dad a couple of times, hated it. I said I'm never gonna have a job. So the next level I went to was S because you know I started like personal training, selling supplements, and then from there I went into the B with creating my moving company, where I had people now doing moves for me and having multiple locations, right? And then in 2016 fourth quarter I saw the real estate gonna crash, and I got into the I. So I spent a lot of time like traveling through those systems, um, and you know each one took me years, not 1 or 2 years, many years, many failures, so on. So what the problem is, a lot of people come with from out of jobs and now they want to be an investor or they want to be an entrepreneur, and they don't have the, not only do they not have the skills, but they don't have the right mindset. When everyone talks about it, you don't have the right mindset, but what it means is when they fall down, like right now I teach my kid, when she falls down, you know, I don't say, oh, you okay, baby? I don't say any of that stuff, right? But what I focus on is how great she caught herself. Because if she hurt her hand, but she protected her face, hey, I say, good catch, dude. You know, that's a great catch. Because, you know, it is a good catch. It's better to fall and hurt your fingers, put your hands out, versus, you know, hurting your face. Or when she falls and she protects her head, and I say, hey, well, good job of protecting your head. And you know, when she can't do something, I tell her, hey, you can do it, you can do it, you will do it, you must do it. And we created a little song for her to believe it. And now, so when she falls, even my little one that's not even 1 year old, when she falls, she looks at us, and you know, we never say, oh, you okay, make a big deal out of it. We encourage her, like, good job for catching me, so they don't cry, right? Not that I don't think there's anything wrong with crying. It's good to cry to get it out of your system, but you know, I'm teaching her that she can overcome anything, and is her mindset. Now when she falls, she's like, yo, I can do it, man, I will do it. And when she can't do something, she keeps repeating it to herself, which is changing of the mindset. And many people want to be their dreams, not realizing all their life they've been told that they're A, B, or C, not realizing that they've been in a separation thinking where, you know, you got to have a certain type of FICO score, or you got to have, you know, this way of thinking or this way of doing it if you want to have success. And so it's hard to reprogram that. They don't even realize they're doing this. And as a coach, it's very, very hard. It's one of the hardest business, no matter how much I try, because I have to change new skill sets plus the psychological aspect. And I've realized that the skill sets that I teach my students work over and over. But the people that succeed, because I always analyze, how can I make myself better to help my students? The people that succeed are the people that have the psychological aspect down, okay? You need the skills. You can have the psychological aspect and you don't have the skills. Some people say, Mike, well, there's so much free information out there. There is. And one of the things that makes me different in my programs is I cut out a lot of the information because there is so much information. And more information creates more thinking, more possibilities, more what ifs, more this, and before you know it, you're just thinking and thinking and thinking, not taking action. And that's what I do, is I shave off a lot of the information. What you need is to get the job done, the shortest path possible. But even through all that, I've learned that, you know, being a coach is the hardest thing. I've owned many different businesses. I failed at many. I had success at a few. The few that I had success in made me a lot more money than I could imagine. And again, end of the day, I ended up giving most of my stuff to the homeless. So money is fake, right? It's freedom is the real deal for me. But what I've learned is that if you live in America, you can do anything, dude. Like literally, there's so much opportunity. You can do anything. You could just sit on there if you have skills. Get on, for example, Fiverr, all this websites like that, and sell yourself. You can, start a business cutting grass, picking up dog shakes, car wash business, any kind of business. There's so many different things. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, guy. You see, there's nice people around all the time, stopping by. Hey, you're right. You need help. There's a lot of good people out in the world. Now we can't focus on the negative things, uh, but it's better to focus on the positive things in life because we live in a world of dualities, right? There's always positive, negative, and we can decide what we want to focus on. Not saying that there is no dark, right? There is, but coming to entrepreneurship, what I've learned is you can do anything you want in America. You got to take a risk. You got to be able to fall down, pick yourself up. It's hard when you lose money. It's hard when for example, it's hard for me when I have to I've gotten shamed. Like, it was very tough to like create a business, have it for 14 years, debt free, making a lot of money, and just close it down and tell people that, hey, I wasn't happy. It's like feels ashamed. If I at one point when I first started, like, oh man, family members, all these people, uh, but that was the truth, and I realized that, hey, what is the most important thing to me? Right? Is it having all this crap? uh, or this crap now requires a bunch of work, bunch of insurance, bunch of liabilities, bunch of stuff, or what is the most important thing? Like riding bikes and hanging out with my kids, that's pretty important. I didn't even have kids. I didn't never wanted to have kids because I wanted to just conquer the world. So, um, but in America, you can do anything, and if you're not doing it, it's basically your own fault because your own brain is not allowing you to do it. And just like the sales guy from REI we talked about, is programming. So learning to cut that information off, learning to have less information come in, and learning to take action, learning that it's okay to fail, learning that it's normal to fail. You got to keep doing it and never giving up. I think are the key to being your dreams. It's not about a credit score or FICO score or how smart you are, because smartness comes with like from memory, right? Like memory is what they teach you in school, but memory has nothing to do with intelligence. And we've confused education to being memory. Like everything you got, if you can remember 10 things, you're super smart. If you can only remember 3, you're okay. See that, and that's bullshit because intelligence is more than memory. Intelligence is to know when to do it and when not to do it and when not to give up and know that you don't know what to do but you'll figure it out. All these things are intelligence, and there's no scoreboard. There's no test for that. And everyone I believe is intelligent. Our school system makes us feel like we may not be intelligent because we're at A, B, or C, or D, or F, whatever the story may be. If we don't have a certain FICO score, if we don't have this, we don't have this, we're too short, we smell a certain way, etc. And I'm here to tell you guys, you're beautiful the way you are. You can do anything you want to. You got to be willing to fall. You got to be willing to risk. It sucks. It's great to be an entrepreneur from high school. That's when I started, because I didn't have family, kids. It's a lot harder to be an entrepreneur with like 2 kids and a wife, and wife doesn't work, and we wanted to stay at home, and I'm the only entrepreneur. It's hard to do that, right? I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm starting all over. It's not easy, right? But I'm lucky because I made some moves before and put a little money on the side. Um, but that said, it's still hard, and I can see why a lot of people wouldn't want to do it, right? I think it's definitely worth it. I have personally tightened my belt in many different aspects just to be my dreams again, right? And this time, my dreams is not about me; it's about a vision, right? That helps other people too. Because before I had dreams that only included me, today is a vision for more than me. I'm not even included in it. So America's a great place, a lot of opportunities here and coming up, but also a lot of sadnesses because people are going to be losing their homes. I've seen a lot of businesses close down. And it breaks my heart because some of these people are my friends, and like places I eat kebab at, or places I drink coffee at or tea at. Now they're closed, right? And that sucks, right? That sucks. Like locally businesses that I visited, so that sucks. But if someone wanted to start a kebab business, that whole place is already meant for a kebab. They got the grills, they got the grease trappers, they got everything you can imagine, right? I wish that guy would have told me he was gonna close down because I would have probably bought it from him. But once the landlord gets it, it's hard to go in there and try to renegotiate. But it would have been great if I could have just took over his lease that is subject to on it in a sense, right? Take over all his equipment and all that stuff. And there are opportunities out there. The hard part is to find them, and that comes from marketing. And if you want to learn how to find them, then go to MrNoFluff.com and download some of my courses, guys, on how to find motivated sellers. Because the skills I teach you, you can apply it in any industry. I have students in the car business, pizza business, restaurant business, guys, moving, you name it, real estate brokers, agents, real estate investors, so on and so on, guys. Let's go ride. Man, these oranges were so good. Man, those little oranges were so good. You got more, honey? It's delicious. Let me show you my rig, guy, ladies. I'm gonna show you my bike right here. Everything on here I bought through the new flip, which means I got it for free. I started with $100 and I bought multiple bikes with it. Everything that you see here, I spent it through the new flip. If you want to do the same thing, if you need some side hustle, go to MrNoFluff.com, download the new flip. You make money now while you learn entrepreneurship and real estate investing, guys. All you need is $100 capital. So let's check out my rig, guys. Put a lot of stuff on here. I got these little cool pedals right here. Put these bad boys on there. I got this little kickstand. I had a lot of different kickstands. This is one of the best kickstands I had. It's like from a company called in Portland. Got the little pump. These little cups are super cool. They keep this one's the green one is for my hot tea. Ice cold water. It keeps it real cold. They don't fall out. You go like this, which is pretty awesome. Have a little button right here. You just push on it right there, and you can open it up. Right. The bike has disc brakes. Put a little cup to hold my water there. I don't have the plastic ones because these are much nicer. They hold my stuff much cooler. I bought this little, I don't know if you guys can see this little device, and I hold my light on there. What I learned is like the bugs don't shoot in my face when I'm rolling. Right. I put my little computer on here right there. You guys can tell right there. All right. The computer right here. I love this bag. Great company, great product, guys. I like companies that make great products. I'm not sponsored by them, but I own a lot of their stuff in Germany. Amazing stuff. Love this bag a lot. I got my little Brooks seat right here, guys. Expensive, but man, I had this since 2016. It's been on multiple bikes. I got my bags on here. Same exact company. Real good stuff. I got my little Gold Zero speaker. Another company that makes really good stuff, guys. This has solar panel in there, waterproof. Got my Top Peak bag on here, and what that does is keeps all my tools and my oil and all that stuff. This Brooks seat is awesome. Has these little things on here. I basically put my keys on here. Um, on here I got this little bell, which is really cool. It's kind of expensive, but it's like pretty. Wife got one too. So everything on here, like this little bell was like 40 bucks, guys. All right, so that's my rig right there. Got the kickstand. I bought all this stuff at REI, guys. I'm not promoting them, but I love them. They do a great job. I also bought this bike through the new Flip, guys. You know, if you guys know anything about bikes, these things have the Ultra Gear shifting system in there. Just the shifting system in itself is like $1,000. The hydraulic disc brakes, super nice bike. I bought all these bikes to the new Flip, guys. I only spent $100. Started out and I got these bikes for free. All the gear on them. Soraya has a Cannondale bag in the bag. She got the lights. She got the same exact bell, but a gold one. Her phone. These lights are pretty good too. She has the super slick tires on there, WTVs. She got the same exact kickstand. We got the lights. She got the pump right there. Crank Brothers, pretty good. Everything shifts through here and breaks through here. Really nice. And then for the trailer, we got the Burley trailer, guys. We got the Burley trailer. We had this for, I guess, 2016 as well. We put on, I don't know, guys, 10,000 miles on it. It's somewhere around there. It has a lot of wear on it, but it's still holding up pretty good. I actually had to buy that one. I didn't know about the new Flip then. So I bought that one for like $650. And now I'm like, dude, I should have used the new Flip for that. And I do the videotaping right here, guys, just to this little device. It's not even mine, it's Soraya's. She's let me borrow it. Alright, guys. Let me know what kind of bike you guys have, if you like bicycling, and how many miles you guys done before. You guys ready? Alright, guys, let's roll. You ready? I don't know about you guys, man. I like to get stuff that lasts a long time. Like before, I used to just get anything that was name brand, but now I want a company that they make stuff that doesn't break, that doesn't need 2.0, 2.3, that lasts a long time. Like these little cups that I got from the other company that I had, they lasted a long time. From this company, I feel like they're gonna last a long time. You know, a long time is like 10, 20 years if I don't lose them. And that's pretty good. The clothes that I buy are from just one specific company, Outdoor Research. You know, I'm not sponsored by any of these companies. I just like stuff that works really good. Right? They're not paying me. I don't have an affiliate link, none of that crap. Just shit that I buy that I think is real good. And man, I wear these same clothes literally every day, every other day. I'm a minimalist. I got rid of all my stuff. Everything fits into a 10-liter bag, all my clothes, including my underwear and socks. Right? So I like them because I can wear them all the time. And you know, and I used to think like GM, like back in the days, GM used to make trucks. They last forever, guys. You know, I seen some right now from like 95, 94, still going strong. I mean, they look horrible inside, but we've got a lot of companies have gone away from that model, right? They've gone away from that model, and they've gone into the model of coming out with 2.0, 3.0. They've gone into the model of crappy stuff, dude. You know, for example, if you ever looked at an old Cannondale bike, like let's say 94, 96, they were made in America, they were so welded, so nice, and they were like going like 600 bucks, 700 bucks for a really nice one. Today, they're built in some other country. The welding is like crappy. They're using a little bit less shittier components, you know, right? But they want 5 times, 10 times that amount. And if you compare that bike versus the older one, you can see that older one has much, much, much better craftsmanship, much more better quality. And so we've gone to a situation where a lot of companies just care about profit margin, and they don't care that they're putting crap out there, right? They want it to break down. They want you to come back, buy another one in 2 years. They don't want you to have something that's going to last a long time. And that all feeds into, you know, the system that we have, which is profits no matter what, right? Profits over the economy, I mean, over the environment, over the employee, over the consumer. Along the profit margin is huge. We can get it for 25 cents and sell it for 300, then it's great. Let's do it. Right? And so I try to go with companies that don't have that idea. They may outsource, but you know, if they outsource, they're working hard to make sure it's good quality. They're not outsourcing to bad people. And that's what I teach you in my VA course. There's nothing wrong with outsourcing. When I hire VAs, I hire some really good quality people. Like I hire doctors, nurses, professors. And people say, why would someone in that country want to work for you? Well, because when I pay them in American dollar and when you do the currency exchange, I'm paying them 3 times, 5 times more than they could get at their own place of work. And you know, someone that's high quality of work, you know, I might pay them 200 bucks or 300 bucks a month. But someone with, you know, just a master's or, you know, fresh out of college, I'm only paying them, you know, 125 bucks, 120 bucks a month. So, but because I pay for the 120 bucks, I'm still paying a lot better than most other companies in their own country. And so I teach you guys how to get the cream of the cream, right? Not to just get any schmuck. And I do it right to my book, my video training course that has the manuals that I use with these people, what to do, like their job tasks, the contracts that I have with them, their bonus plans, how much to pay them, when to pay them, how to monitor them. You can find all that stuff in my VA course, virtual assistant course, on my real estate dojo. But just because you outsource doesn't mean that you got to get bad quality. But a lot of companies, they don't care. They just want the profit, you know. And there's nothing wrong with outsourcing and, you know, getting good quality people over there to good quality work. But the problem is people are more conscious about saving a whole lot of money, big corporations, versus good products, right? And they want us to spend more and more. So I only talk about companies that I personally use that are make good quality stuff that are gonna last, you know, 5, 10, 15 years. Same product, dude. Like this Brooks seat that I bought, man, I've used the crap out of it, and I think it's gonna live more than I'm gonna live, which is crazy to say. And this company's been making, saddles and seats since the 18th century. So they got to be doing something right. All right, guys, it's an amazing day. We bicycle with 2 kids. We got to make a lot of stops, give them toys, give them food, give them water. But we don't complain. We're thankful to be able to do it, man. This is an awesome blessing to be able to ride with your kids on a daily basis. It's like so much quality time. It's so important. You know, we used to live in America in a state where only the dad had to work, right? The mom didn't have to work. The dad had to work. The mom could spend time with the kids, you know, groom them and stuff. But now we live in an era where there's so much printing of money that mom has to work, dad has to work. Damn, it's stinky out here. Fixing the plumbing, I think. Everyone has to work, and it's like, who raises up the kids, dude? Well, the TV, the media, whatever it is. If it's the TV shows, the cartoons, They tell them what to eat, what toys are cool, what's not cool, and so on. And what's cool is usually consumption, which makes their parents work more, so they have less time to spend with kids. The kids are watching more video games or watching more TV to tell them what's cool, what's not cool. It's just a continuous, endless rat race. Gotta pull over and fix my little bike. I don't know, guys. I think I have to get a new bike. I just got this one from REI. It's a really nice bike, but alright, guys. I think we're back. That's what happens when you freestyle stuff. It's the real life. It's unedited. Alright, man, this little thing keeps coming loose. I gotta tighten it up. Not sure what's wrong with this. Anyways, man, everyone got their little stimulus check, and a lot of people start buying bikes because they were sitting at home in the quarantine. And they got this free money, which caused bike shortages. And it was hard to find a bike new because everyone was sold out. There's a lot of people making a lot of money from it. So I'm probably going to be looking for a new bike to buy. I like everything about this bike. I like the geometry. Just don't like the components that much. I'm having problems with it. I put on maybe like 300, 400 miles on it, but that's nothing. There's bikes that have 10, 20, 30,000 miles on it. So guys, I'm thinking about, I sold my Mercedes and I got another car. I'm thinking about like turning off the insurance on it and just bicycling everywhere. I told my wife, you better get used to bicycling. We're gonna start bicycling, because man, I hate the traffic in cars. I hate paying insurance every month. I hate having that liability all directions, from hitting people hitting me. I'm more scared of people hitting me. You know, like a lot of people, I mean, get injured in car accidents per year, guys. They lose their lives, they lose their legs. There was a guy that I just visited, like a total stranger, and I took them food and stuff, because because at one time you should just go to the hospital and just take people's stuff. And then I sit down with this dude. He was like a really young dude, and he lost his leg because a car accident from a drunk driver coming at them. I mean, it's just like ridiculous. My mom's been in the car, right, with the ambulance smashed into them because it was like rainy or something. So it was all kinds of shit, and she got jacked up. So like, cars are pretty dangerous. Most people don't realize they pollute. They cost a lot of money. Even if you have like a very economic car, like what I have now, which is a Leaf, I don't have to pay for any gas. I love this thing. No, just insurance and tires and getting a new battery. Since I've owned it, I have to put two batteries. I'm just spending money constantly on it. Even this is a car with very, very low maintenance. Now, compared to my Mercedes, where each tire costs me, holy moly, $400 or $500 each tire, then you can see that this Leaf, is so much nicer. However, it takes a lot of energy trying to find parking. You always have to watch out. It is driving, traffic, people raging on the roads. It just doesn't make any sense, and I told my wife, man, we need to just start riding bicycles. It's much cooler. We get physically fit. We're with our kids and family all the time. And he's like, dude, and we'll get to save a whole lot of money. I mean, I was just telling him, like, just like one car, let's say you don't have full coverage, because full coverage is like crazy stupid if you understand the insurance business and how they appraise cars, unless you have like a brand new car or something. But most people don't. But that's a different story. I'm not even going to get into that. But let's just say you just have a, just a simple plan with high liability, like say 100 or 300 or something. So if uninsured, they hit you and they don't have insurance, so you can still be covered. But you don't have, full coverage. You're probably going to spend like $600-700 every 6 months, which is like $1,400 a year. It's like, dude, you do that times 10 years. Well, that's like a house, like a half of a house or a quarter of a house, or depends what part of the country you live in. Okay. And many people think they're safe in the car, not realizing that they're getting fat and obese in the car, not realizing that there's so much stress they're going under being in the car, because they have to sit there, sit in traffic, be all mad, people cut in front, all this crazy shit happens, and all that stuff is producing all these chemicals in their brains that's making them get into the flight and fight state, which is knocking their homeostasis out of balance, and they're always under stress, and that causes disease. So there's a lot of benefits riding bicycles. What's going on, man? I've even thought about moving to Netherlands, because they have the #1 bicycling city. 60% of the population walks or bicycles, unlike America. I mean, in here, it's a society of cars. And the areas, there are a lot of pedestrians and bicycles. Those are like the hottest spots. Like, think about like Santa Monica, like, used to be Venice Beach was pretty hot, but now homeless people are like, they're crazy. But these little spots are like, used to be like the hottest spots where people can walk and commute. So really, we all want that, but because of structure being designed for in the favor of big corporations and insurance companies, it's not about pedestrians or kids walking, or we're last in the roll, lowest priority. It's about cars, because they make a lot of money. The government makes a lot of money in that. Insurance company make a lot of money. It's like all these people make a lot of money. Health hospitals make a lot of money because you're sitting in your car all the time, getting fat and dying, right? Through obesity, through insulin malfunctioning, pancreas problems, heart attack, high cholesterol, you name it. But if everyone bicycled, it would be a lot nicer. There wouldn't be drive-by shootings and road rages. There would be less people in the hospital. I've been bicycling. I've never seen two people ran into each other before for quite a while. How did I get into bicycling? Well, it started when I was in college. I was broke. I had like $100 a month to live on. And $25 of that was a week. And so I couldn't drive a car. I had a car. I could drive it, but I wouldn't have any more money because I would put it all in gas. So I got a bike, because at that time, the apartment that I leased from was like, they would give you a $500 sign up credit card or debit card or whatever, credit to Target. So at that time, Target sold bikes, and I went to Target and bought me a Diamondback. I didn't know shit about bikes, and I rode to school every day. And I thought it was so fun. It was a great thing. And when I graduated college, I thought, man, I'm never going to ride a bike again. And back in 2016, somewhere around there, I picked up the bike again for some reason. I wanted to do something, because I had all this free time. I wasn't quite happy, so I picked up the bike this time, not because I needed to ride, but just as a hobby. I was watching YouTubers going touring on their bicycles. I said, man, I want to do a tour. So I picked up a bike, I bought a bike from REI, and well, I think for my first bike I bought it from Academy. It was a Orbea, and I told Soraya, hey, let's go on a bicycle tour. This is very funny. We didn't know shit about bicycling. We haven't bicycled she hadn't bicycled since like high school. I hadn't bicycled since college. And we decided to go on a bicycling tour. And from our home to that trailhead was maybe a good 40 to 50 miles. Okay, so, and then from the trailhead to where we were gonna go, which was like Paris, Texas, was probably a good 100 miles or something like that, right? So we ended up, didn't know anything about bicycle tour, no training. We didn't have the right gear and everything. We just bought 2 bikes and boom, we left from my home, which was like at that time, not anymore, but at that time, in downtown Dallas. And we went from downtown Dallas all the way to Paris, Texas in one freaking day, guys. So we pedaled for almost 24 hours. It was just a few 30 minutes short or something like that. And we did like 120 miles our very first trip. Non-stop. It was so hard. It was like the craziest thing. It was the most adventure we ever had, because we were in these country roads, and it was like 5 in the morning or 2 in the morning. We're pedaling. We're just looking at the stars. We've never seen so much stars. Everyone was sleeping. It was such a great feeling. We were freaking tired. We did 20 miles, guys. So we got to Paris, Texas, and we got a hotel, and we went to sleep, and we were so thankful to take a shower. It was like such a wonderful feeling. And I thought to myself, man, this shit is fun. It was a lot of hard work. I thought to myself, man, I love this shit. And that day on, I started getting into bicycles. I was like, man, I want to do more of these tours. And so I've done tours to Dallas to Austin. I've done like a bunch of crazy tours. I've done solo rides where I've done 104 miles just like a couple of weeks ago with myself. I got up at 4 in the morning. I started pedaling at 4:30. Didn't get home till like really late at night. I loved it, dude. It was very hard. I did like 3 marathons and some, but it's very cool. So I'm thinking about just like not getting car insurance and just riding the bike for a couple of months, and then if me and the wife like it, we'll just sell our car too, and we'll just have bikes. It's like, man, I feel like a car takes away so much risk, liability, and money out of my pocket. Even with a very economic car, like an EV car, where it has no parts like a car, combustion, no oil changes, no transmission flushes. I mean, nothing. Still, insurance companies rob you year after year. It's like a lifetime sentence. These guys are back at the park again. They're living it up. These kids. When I was a kid, my dad never took me to the park. I don't blame the poor guy. He had to work in an ice cream truck 7 days a week in like 110-degree weather. Hello, Jigga. Hello, Elixir. Look at you walking. You guys watching her walk? Look at her. She's barely getting to walk. You're watching it with me. What, darling? Man, you're lucky you come into the park so much, baby. Come down. We're at the park now, baby. I want some sunflower seeds. I want some seeds. Do we have some seeds, Mama? You want some seeds? We have pecans. We have sunflower seed. Baby, I got water. I got everything, honey, for you. My darling. My Jigga. My son. The gravity that holds me. That pulls me.
Thank you.
There you go. You want some seeds, sweetie?
Yes, I do.
Pretty good. I like to hear that. Why are you doing it? Huh?
There's something in there.
Like what? Here, sweetie. You're welcome, baby. Good stuff right here, man. I'm not marketing for them, but they're real healthy. Guys, if you could click the like button, highly appreciate it. Pennsylvania. You ready? Let's leave. Yeah, that's a really nice seed right there. Look at that, guys. Let me see it. Where is it?
Come on, sweetie.
Nice pecan. I call all these seeds. Bye. You ready to roll? Mount up. Here we go, guys. Well, we're leaving. That kid. He just want to run into the bike, guys. What a beautiful day. That's why you shouldn't eat and drive. See what just happened? In the car, I could have crashed. On the bike, I just rode off. I could have crashed too, but it's only been me. My man said, yo, what's going on, my man? Another one said, I'm the man. I appreciate it, man. Everyone's the man of the woman. Every one of you guys, gang. This side is pretty beautiful. If you guys have a GoPro, let me know if it's worth buying it. I'm thinking about doing more of these bicycle videos because it's pretty fun for me. The bicycle, I bicycle a whole lot, so I figured maybe I should just do a video about it. Better equipment. Let me know if you guys can like live stream right from your GoPro right into YouTube. I don't like to do a bunch of editing and stuff like that. Just like to do it live. Guys, what a beautiful day. I don't know if you guys can see that little squirrel or little animal they carved here. Right there. Go mama, go mama. Go mama. All right. Drink some water. Take a quick break. What's going on, man? Guys, well, thanks for watching it. I think I'm just gonna cut it out. Battery's pretty low. So thanks for watching in. Make sure you go to MrNoFluff.com. Invest in your brain. Best time to be alive is 2020 and moving forward. Best time era is 2020 moving forward. Much love.